Hello, everyone. This is Coach Michele coming to you live from the ATL. What's up? So this is the first video of 4. You know, I've been dropping 4 videos every single Monday. For those of you that tune in every week, thank you. For all of my new first timers, welcome. My name is Michele Williams. I go by Coach Michele, coming to you live from the ATL. And I love dropping gems. I love sharing knowledge. I love empowering people because some of y'all want to do it yourself. And for those of you that don't want to do it yourself, come on over. We have an amazing coaching program, mentorship, and we would love to help you. So today's video is what goes in the client folder. I've been seeing that comment and question over and over, even in my private mentorship Facebook group. What goes in the client's folder? Guys, it really depends because each state, well, most of the states, not each, most of the states are regulated. So they will tell you in the rules and regulations exactly what needs to go inside of the client folder. However, the other states are non-regulated, which means you put whatever you want in the folder. So I'm going to share with you the main items that need to be in the folder, no matter where you are in the world. How about that? Because I have clients all over the world. Well, not all over the world, but maybe like in 4 or 5 continents. And it's pretty much the same. It's just that the terminology is a little different, but caring for someone is the same across the board, right? You want to provide the best level of care based on his or her needs, right? So what goes in the client folder, guys? First thing, again, let me reiterate that. If you are in a regulated state, you need to look at the rules and regulations because guess what? Your policies must be created based on the rules and regulations. And it's going to tell you exactly what needs to go in the folder. If it doesn't, then you have some leeway and you can put whatever you want to put in there. But I'm going to give you guys the top things that should go inside of the client's folder. First thing, baby, client agreement. I don't want you guys servicing anybody, nobody. Even if it's a friend, please, even if it's a friend, have a client agreement. The client agreement will have all the details so you guys are on the same page. You know what needs to be done for the client. You know how much the client is paying you. The client knows what you're charging her. If there's any type of, special, when you get there, you got to ring the code and the code is this. All the details of it. And then if it's in a regulated state, they may have specific things like billing, right? So your billing information could be in there. Your termination policy can be in there. If there are any special needs as far as dietary needs. No, not dietary needs. That's going to go in the service plan. Yeah, that's going to go in the service plan, which is the second thing that needs to go in here. So the service agreement is going to break down all of the different things that need to go inside of a client's folder as far as you guys being on the same page. I'm thinking back to my agreement. Lord Jesus, I think it was 4 pages. So there's a lot of stuff that goes in there, right? So some more examples. Are you providing transportation? Did they give you authorization to use their car? Do you have access to use their funds? What does that look like? Are you doing automatic billing, right? So there's so much that can go inside the client agreement. So you don't want to forget that. Also inside that client agreement, guess what? You should be listing, you cannot hire or solicit my caregiver. My caregiver is my employee. So you should have something like that to protect you as well. And if they violate it, there's a fee, whatever that fee is that you come up with. Second thing, number 2, the service plan. Some states call it a care plan. Some states call it a plan of care. That's going to have every single thing that client needs. It's going to stay in the home. It's going to also stay in the folder in your office, the client's folder in your file cabinet. But definitely you want one inside of the home. I'll do another video. Let me know if you guys want a video on what goes in the client's folder in the house. So you definitely want to have that plan of care in there. And then that way the caregiver knows exactly what she can do and what she cannot do. And of course he as well, right? Depending on the sex of your caregiver. So, but I'm going to use she throughout the video just to make it easy. So the caregiver will know exactly what she can do and cannot do. Very, very important, guys. And that's where you're going to put all the details, like when I mentioned dietary restrictions, and everything else pertaining to that care plan. Now, the care plan is going to be created from your comprehensive assessment or your in-home assessment. So it just depends if you're in a regulated state or a non-regulated state, right? So, but we all should be doing some sort of assessment based on the rules and regulations of your state. If there aren't any rules and regulations, then of course you can do whatever you want. However, I still recommend that you have an assessment done and you're creating a service plan from that. Definitely you want, so I guess that's number 3. Definitely you want emergency contact, who to contact in case of an emergency, right? You're going to call 911. Your caregiver's going to call 911 to get help. But then who do you call as the agency owner? Side note, nugget. Who are you calling? The caregiver should not be calling a client's emergency contacts for anything. That should be the responsibility of the agency administrator, okay, or supervisor, however you have it set up in your business. But in most cases, it's the administrator, right? So the caregiver will call 911 in case of emergency. Caregiver will call you, and then you would take over from that point, right? Let's see what else. List of medication list. Definitely, I would say, even though you're doing non-skilled services, it's still good to have an emergency, a medication list in the folder, because that way, if something goes on, or if the nurse needs to look at it, or if the caregiver is saying, hey, Miss Jones is doing this, then it could be a side effect from the medication. She may need to go to her primary care provider. She needs to do whatever. But most importantly, going back to what I mentioned about having that emergency contact, and if the emergency medical services are called, guess what? And if the client is not responsive, the caregiver has that emergency contact list right there. Most seniors have it on their refrigerator or someplace in the home, but that is right there. And then that way the EMS team can look at it and know exactly what medications Miss Jones is on, okay? Next thing should be a list of providers, so you know what doctors she go to, right? And then that way you may be providing non-medical transportation. You have the contact information in case Ms. Jones is not able to share with you the doctor, the location, things like that. You have it right there. Again, that goes back to 911 as well. And that way they know her doctors, blah, 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 right? So, so we have client agreement, we have the service plan or care plan, we have the emergency contact, we have rights and responsibilities. Some states require rights and responsibilities. Even if the state doesn't, I still suggest creating some type of rights and responsibilities. And then I would say another thing to put into the folder, I lost count, so that's probably 5, but you guys let me know. Or as long as you're writing it down. Next thing I would say put inside the client's folder would be method of payment, right? So the old days of the check is in the mail, those days no longer exist. So I recommend that you have some type of merchant service account set up so you can make it easy for your client to pay, and or you could set up where it's automatic, where you have their card information or whatever that method of payment is, you have it on file in your office. And then that way, when you send out your invoices weekly, bi-weekly, whatever you decide to do, you're able to just automatically apply the charges on that invoice to that method of payment. So I definitely would recommend that. And then we have, those are the main things, guys. Those are the main things that I recommend regardless of what stage you're in. And yeah, that's it. That's it. And then if you're in a regulated state, you can always add the requirements if I did not cover them. But most of the time, that's pretty much it. Some states will have a specific sheet, like, and it's not one you have to create. It's something you download off the state's website, and they want the client to sign it. So that's why it's really important, guys. If you don't take anything from this video, what I want you to take is you got to follow the rules and regulations of your state if you're in a regulated state. And you want to make sure that your folders are compliant with that, because if not, when they come out to do a survey, guess what? You could get dinged, you could get fined, you get, whatever it is they do in your state. And if you are in Texas, they don't play. $1,000 and up, baby. So you want to make sure that you do the right thing, and you don't want a ding on your record because it is public knowledge. So anybody could just go online and see that information. And you want to always work within the scope of your agency as far as the licensing you have. And you don't want to cross over into skilled services because that's not what you do, right? So having that medication log and having, access to certain information, that's just because you have access to, comprehensive assessment. Yes, that goes in the folder. So if you are in a state and your nurse is going out to do a head to toe comprehensive assessment, definitely you want to have that inside of that client's folder as well. Definitely. So that's it, guys. Be safe. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't try to skip things. Don't say, just this time, because that's when something can happen. So you want to make sure you're compliant all the time. So if you want more information, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually do another video about what goes in the folder in the client's home, because I think that's important as well, and I don't want to muddy this, okay? So guys, if you want more information about me and what I do and who I am and how I could potentially help you, you could go to my website, myhomecarecoach.com. Check me out on Facebook. I'm always going live. Actually, I'm going to go live this evening, probably around, I don't know what time. I'm thinking 7, but I'm not sure. And that's I am Coach Michele with 1 L. And check me out online. I got a lot of good stuff coming up. And talking about things coming up. Yes. I have a lot of surprises for conference 2023. So if you've never been to one of my conferences, you are missing out. We have conference every year around March 24th. The entire weekend turned up. So if you don't know about it, you definitely want to be connected. And matter of fact, you know what you guys could do? I send out a text message every morning at 8 o'clock. It's almost been a year. By the grace of God, I haven't missed any days. I send out inspiration, motivation, sometimes some tips, sometimes, oh my God, did you know this? This just happened in the industry. So if you want to be a part of that and receive my 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 5 a.m. for those of you on the West Coast, just turn your ringer down or turn it off to silence, whatever you need to do. But people have literally said these messages changed their life, enhanced their life, change their mindset, enhance their mindset. So you can get on those text messages by texting, text YouTube, code YouTube to 678-336-7472. Again, 678-336-7472. Take care, guys. God bless. And see you on the next video.